Going David from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we're going to look at 5 keys that are heating up, going up in price. And one of these books, is it coming back from its all-time lows? Maybe is the time that it'll come back and go way back up. Probably not, but let's see. All right, first we got Howard the Duck #1, and then 9.4. It's up 12% from a few months ago, selling for $115 on average. Now selling for $129. A 9.6 up only 2% from $294 to $300, and a 9.8 is up 32% from $501 to $660. If you look at that graph, you can see it's kind of going along, and then all of a sudden it's huge, massive spike up, and then it goes all the way down. There's one sale, which just seemed ridiculous because the other ones before were like 800. Then like 1100, then 2800, then back down to like 1200. Just one random sale. So I don't even think it's real. That just seems ridiculous. I know some people are like, oh, what if it was a newsstand? Newsstand didn't happen then. And so then it kind of went down. There's not that many sales. And then it's started going up again from the previous sale, which was back in 2022 for $500, now selling for $660. So not back to its all-time highs, but not really that far down either. So maybe it's kind of hit like the bottom of this one, at least for the Howard the Duck. All right, next we got Watchmen #1, a 9.4 up 29% from 81 to 105, a 9.6 up 55% from 126 to 195, and a 9.8 up 85% from selling a few months ago for $583. One recent sold for $1080. And you look at that graph, it just goes, I couldn't tell you why. Recently, it's been going up. It's obviously been trending for the last 6 months, almost doubling. And I looked up that 1080, and yes, I can verify it was sold. Yeah, it just seems ridiculous. That's quite a bit. And the ones before the 1081 were selling around the 800 to 900 mark. So still much higher than the 580 was selling a little bit ago. But you can see that it's just pretty much Comic Boom came back down, it's coming back up. Will this go back up to its highs of whatever it's selling for? Like, looks like about 1,300. Yeah, 1,300. That's not that far off from its all-time peak, 1,300. I don't foresee that for at least a while, to be honest. All right, next is we got Moon Knight #1. A 9.4 up 51% from 79 to 119, a 9.6 up 22% from 123 to 150, and a 9.8 up 12% from 300 to 335. So, is Moon Knight finally coming back? Is this the book? Is it going to go back to its highs of $1,300 for a 9.8 Moon Knight #1 from 1980? $1,300 as it's climbing back up, and it's pretty low. It's back to where it was prior to the comic book boom in like 2019, 2020, early 2020, before it started going up. No, it is not going to go back to its highs of like almost $1,300. Not even close. This book, here's the thing with this book. Yes, Moon Knight, the TV show came out. Even if Moon Knight season 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff comes out. Is this book going to come up to $1,300? Nope, not even the slightest. Will it go up? Yeah, of course. You got Moon Knight movie, Moon Knight TV show, Moon Knight merchandise everywhere. Yeah, it will go up. But this is not even his first appearance. First appearance was Werewolf by Night 32, then it was 33, then 37. Maybe this is his 4th appearance. I don't know. I'm sure he had other appearances between then, but this is his first solo. No, it's not even his first solo. His first solo series. His first solo book was Marvel Spotlight 28 and 29. And then something else. Anyways, but yeah, so it's his first ongoing series. The thing is with this book is there's a lot in high grade. It reminds me of the Eternals. The Eternals 1, the run back in the day. There's a lot there in high grade because a lot of people, I don't know, maybe they just didn't pick this book up or it wasn't a big hot seller, and so a lot of them just stayed nice and neat. And yeah, so there's just too much out there for this thing to climb all the way back to $1,300. If everything is going right for it, could it go up to like $600-700? Sure. But this is never going to be a book that's, it would be very hard for me to believe that in 10 years time, this book is $1,300, even if everything goes right for it. Most likely everything's not going to go right for it in terms of like scale of what's going on out there for Moon Knight. Maybe we never see Moon Knight again. Who knows what's going on in Disney? But I don't think everything's going to go right for it. Even if it did, I didn't think it'd sit it. Realistically, it's probably just going to meander around like $350 to $500 for a very long time. That's where I think it's going to. The $300 to $500 range is where it's going to sit for a very long time. If things just go really bad for it, it could probably drop down to like the 250 mark, 250 mark. Next, we have Giant Size X-Men #1, first appearance in the new X-Men. A 3.5 up 6% from 1488 to 1575. A 8.0 is up 28% from a little over 3,500, now selling for a little over 4,500. And a 9.2 up 12% from 5,700 to 6,400. There has been, I would say, about half the grades are going down, half the grades are going up. When I just scanned quickly through the grades and what was going up for the particular month. Overall, I would say it's hard. Like I said, it's like hard to say. Half going up, half going like down for the month. So I think it's just going to be like this over for the whole scope of this comic book. Just kind of, I don't think overall this book is really trending down. Maybe a little bit, but mostly I think it's just kind of like flat, but it's just every month it's jumping in between that, right? It's not going to be flat. It's like, sold for 4,500 last month. Now it's 45 this month, 45 the next month. So it's just going to be jumping around. So you're going to have some months and some grades that are up, some months, some grades that are down. Overall, it's hard to say. I think over the next couple months, it'll probably drop a little, but I think then it'll start climbing again. So yeah, I think it's just going to be basically flat. All right, Star Wars #3, the 35-cent variant. There is really only a couple sales that happened in the last, this year. The 7.5 one sold for $1,500 like recently, and it's up 118% from the previous one, which was 2019 for $687. A 9.2 recently sold for almost $3,500, up 16% from the last one was in 2021 for $3,000. So yeah, if you look at these graphs, they don't sell that often, and they all seem to be pretty much around the same, just like a slight increase over time. Sometimes, this one, it looks like it peaked back in 2016, and now it's almost back up to its peak again. But again, it sold back in 2021 for $3,000, now up to $3,500. So I like these books. I think they're safe books in terms of investment if you can get yourself a good deal, but they're like steady growth, I think, over time. You're not going to see big booms in them. I know #1 you can, but like #2, 3, and 4, they have 35-cent variants of those. So it's up a little bit from the last time. Obviously, the 7.5 is up, almost double or over double from its 2019. I think these are good, solid books to get. And that'll be it. Have a great day.